Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're not new here, thank you guys for always showing me love across all social media platforms. I appreciate it so much. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like, share. This part of it is literally begging, so I'm begging you guys, please show some love. So go check out my previous video where I did a prediction on Euro 2024, which is currently happening at the moment, and I thought, why not talk about the Copa America as well? So yeah, it's gonna be a busy summer, guys. Euro 2024, Copa America, the Olympics, jam-packed for sports watchers. Get into it. So I have not been an avid watcher of the Copa America, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys I've been watching it since. No, I started watching it in I think about 2019 thereabout, so I think I'm pretty versed on giving a prediction, I guess. I want to also try a different method of how I shoot my videos, so I normally do it in a different way, but I'm testing out different styles, so here I am. Hope you guys enjoy this way. So let's get Group A, Argentina, who are the current holders of the competition. I think they can go back to back. Like, this Argentine squad is very good, and the players have already made it known that they are willing to put their body on the line for one man Lionel Messi. I would too, of course, but they made it clear that their ultimate aim is to always win it for Messi, always do their best. Best, I can say this is one of my favorite Argentine squads, probably one of the best squads they've had in recent years. You agree? Like, this is one of the best group of players. That they're well coached. I enjoy watching them all the time, whether that's a friendly or competitive. They are a well compact and driven team with talent that spreads all across the field. So I am just excited to see what they come with as the defending champions. Oh Canada, oh Canada. Now Canada are one of those teams that they're good in theory but not in practice, and I hope that makes sense. So they're good on paper and they have the players and stuff, but in reality it just never translates. They never play to win but to not lose, and that's my biggest issue with Canada. They have, as I said, incredible players such as, you know, Alphonso Davies, they have Jonathan David and Kone. They should be playing better with the crop of talent they have. Moving right along to Group B, so we have Mexico. Now Mexico are a very hard team to play. I've seen teams struggle to break down their defense or struggle to grind out a win, but they're not a perfect team, and they can play to the strengths of their opponent. This tournament for Mexico would look to improve on what they did in the CONCACAF Nations final. That was an incredible run for them. They eventually lost out to the USA, but nonetheless they did pretty well, so I'd love to see how they build up from that. They've had bumps and troubles since that, and they've not been, as I said, perfect or unbeatable. Then we have Ecuador. Now Ecuador is a very energetic team, also one of my favorites to watch. They just bring a different life. The fans are amazing as well, and when you talk about players like Paez, Caicedo and Valencia, those players move the needle. Those players can win a game, and I would love to see how far they go into this. I'm saying semi-finals thereabouts, if they can, you know, just keep what they've been doing so far in friendlies and qualifying round. Interested to see how far they go. Jamaica, Jamaica, my land of birth and where I live. This is also, I'm gonna say favorite so many times, but this is one of my favorite Reggae Boys team. I think this team has really impressed both myself and others, and they're not perfect, but the growth is evident. You can see the ideologies and the pattern of play, and just the overall team commander that they have that was lacking in previous teams, and that's something good for them in this tournament. However, there's a bit of controversy surrounding Leon Bailey, and I'm just gonna go into a full-on rant and tell you what my thoughts are. So the Copa America squad was announced. Leon Bailey was added. The coach explained that some players would be joining the team a little bit later than others, not in the first match. Lo and behold, Leon Bailey took it to his Instagram to say, hey, I don't know about y'all, but it cannot be me. and he's saying that it's misleading information. Now that is chaos in itself. How can the Football Federation select you as a player and you're going to be saying it's misleading? Now this has been going on for some time, the rift between the JFF and Leon Bailey. And let me just get into it. Now I hear Bailey's concern. I hear it, I understand it, I feel it. This is not the first national team that is underfunded, undersupported. Like, there's just chaos and confusion. It happens. We see Argentina had their struggles with their federation and funding. But what do the players do? They know that this is to represent the country, the nation. This is a time where you put all differences aside, put a smile on your face, and go out there and give the best that you can despite the circumstances. And I'm not doing this to say, oh, the problems are not there and the JFF is right. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm trying to get at is, it does not look good for a national team player to be like, I'm taking a break, I don't want to play for you guys, and throwing all these tantrums and still expect there to be an opening for this player in the future. It's just not possible. You get what I'm saying? So I hear the concerns, I hear the problems that Leon Bailey and his agent has with the JFF, but it's just a part of life. You just have to brush it off and go. Like, even the girls have gone through it with the JFF, but what do? They still go there, they still represent their country, they take it and they just move on along with all. There's so many different teams I could draw in contrast that have these issues, and you don't see their players storing up a fit. And his agent went on one of the local stations here in Jamaica, basically refuting that, you know, all these sorry, I hear it. The JFF has problems, they need starting out, they need to fund the team better, they need to do better as a federation, but you cannot throw the entire country under the bus and expect us to be behind you and rally behind you. It doesn't work like that. As him, in my humble opinion, we have incredible players. Demarai Gray, I love him since he's been. Casey Palmer also is a great addition. Kai Dixon, one of the young natural born talents that was selected. We have Michael Antonio, and the list just goes on of all the incredible talent we have. So we'll do okay. I do want us to exit the group. Not sure how possible that is, but the fingers are crossed. Moving on to Group C. So we have the US of A. Hate is a very strong word, but I hate watching this team, and it has nothing to do with the players, by the way. It has everything to do with how badly they are coached. I do not think I need to learn to pronounce people's name, but I do not like how they're coached. It really grinds my gears how a coach can have all that talent and not know what to do with it. Reminds you of England, right? And since they've won the Nations League, which I have a problem with because the teams in CONCACAF are very easy to beat, they're underdeveloped compared to USA. They failed to prove that they're ready for the Copa America. Like, these teams are even more talented, 10 times the talent than you guys. So if you guys are gonna come here, you have to prove that you are worth it. I don't think they're ready for the big boys. You want to chill with the big boys. You want what they bring to Group B. Uruguay, also another good team that I love, possibly one of my few favorites to win the entire thing. No, stay with me here, stay with me. They have defensive issues that they need to resolve, because coming into this, they have conceded quite a few number of goals. And even with their World Cup performance, it was a bit concerning that they didn't get to exit that group, because once again, conceding goals and not putting up the best performances, but the talent is there. And the only issue I have with this team is that if they think newness, leading the line is the answer, it's not looking good. So we move on to Group D, and in this group we have Brazil. Now Ronaldinho, I'm laughing because it's very funny. Ronaldinho came out and he said some pretty harsh things about the Brazilian team. To summarize, one of the worst teams I've ever seen. you know, that's it guys, that's it for me. This is a sad moment for those who love Brazilian football. It's difficult to find the energy to watch the games. It's perhaps one of the worst teams in recent years. It has no respectable leaders, just average players for the most part. I've been following football since I was a child, long before I thought of becoming a player, and I've never seen a situation as bad as this. So his whole point was, y'all are not good, and he's not gonna be there to see the downfall. Now hear me. If you think I'm gonna disagree with Ronaldinho to pick up for this current Brazilian team, you're crazy. It's Ronaldinho all the way. He has a very valid point. Brazil has not been themselves for quite a many of years, but I don't think the biggest issue is talent. Stay with me here. Coaching is one of the biggest issues that Brazil has had to deal with over the years. Brazil is like the international Chelsea. They don't stay with coaches long. Coaches come in and out. You get probably 2 to 3 years to, you know, get your point across, and if you don't, you're out the door. And they haven't found the coach that can bring Brazil back to the top. Now, there are some average players, don't get me wrong. There are some players that I can see why. Because when you have Martinelli, Anthony representing your national country, and you see them lining up to go and play for the team, you're like, but they're still talent. They're not as bad as other teams who have, don't want to say any words that will get me banned on YouTube, but they don't have some of the worst players you can ever think of. They have Paqueta, they have Jai Gomez, they have Bruno Gomes, they have Rodrigo, they have Vinicius. So it's not a case where they're out and down with some of the most underperforming players. I think it's a mixture, and how to get the best of this team is the coaching. So Ronaldinho made a very valid point when he said that, you know, it's harsh for him to see what Brazil has become. And we all, that's the thing, what I don't like with the outrage is that we've all said it, that Brazil has fall off and Brazil are not the Brazil we all grew up with and the Brazil everybody fell in love with. That's a fact. So his comments are not out of the water. It's the first we're hearing it. We've all said it. But yeah, that's what I think about each team that's going to be representing their country at the Copa America 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching, sticking and staying, for hearing me rant about football. See you in the next one.